the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, I warmly welcome you to this official ceremony marking the handover of checks from the Q Group, comprising QCell, QuantumNet, and Ajib Bank, to the MoHERST tripartite funds, namely the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and the National Research and Innovation Fund. Your presence here today underscores the strength and importance of public-private partnerships in advancing national development through education, research, science, and innovation. Distinguished guests, we shall begin this ceremony by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. I therefore invite everyone to pray individually, silent individual prayer. Distinguished ladies, amen. May all prayers be accepted. It is now my honor to deliver the opening statement on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Chairman of the Q Group, MDs of the Q family, QCell, QuantumNet, Ajib Bank, chairpersons and executive directors of the MoHERST tripartite funds, senior government officials, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education, it is my honor and privilege to warmly welcome you all to the MoHERST Conference Hall here in Tanifing. For this important and symbolic ceremony, marking the handover of bank checks from the Q Group to the Ministry's tripartite funds, namely the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and the National Research and Innovation Fund. Today's event is not merely a financial transaction. It is a strong demonstration of shared responsibility and partnership between government and the private sector in advancing national development through higher education, research, and innovation. It reflects a growing recognition that sustainable investment in human capital and knowledge systems is central to the Gambia's socio-economic transformation. The tripartite funds were established to address critical gaps in access to tertiary education, institutional financing, and research and innovation support. Contributions such as those handed over today directly strengthen these mechanisms and by extension expand opportunities for students, researchers, and institutions across the country. We are therefore particularly pleased to host the leadership of the Q Group, whose commitment to corporate citizenship and national development continues to set a commendable example. Your support underscores the importance of aligning private sector resources with public policy priorities for greater national impact. Distinguished guests, this ceremony also reaffirms MoHERST's commitment to transparency, accountability, and strategic partnerships in the management of education and research financing. We remain resolute in ensuring that all the resources mobilized are deployed efficiently and equitably in line with national development objectives. Once again, I welcome you all and thank you for honoring this invitation I wish us successful and a very meaningful ceremony. Thank you very much. Now back to my MC duties. Distinguished guests, this partnership we are celebrating today reflects the private sector's commitment to national priorities in human capital development. I now have the singular pleasure of inviting Honorable Mohammed Jah, Chairman of the Q Group, to deliver a statement on behalf of the Q family. Sir.
Good morning to you all. The Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, the chairpersons of the tripartite funds, chief executives of the tripartite funds, students here present, the officers of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and the University of the Gambia, Q Group MDs, general managers, and senior managers here present. Of course, my wife also is present. Ladies and gentlemen, and the media, today is not just about handing over checks. Today is about handing over confidence in the future of the Gambia. At Q Group, we believe that education is not an expense. It is the smartest investment a country can make. When you invest in higher education, you invest in thinkers. When you invest in research, you invest in solutions. And when you invest in science and technology, you invest in competitiveness and resilience. Higher education, research, science, and technology are no longer optional. They are the engine rooms of modern economies. They determine whether a country consumes innovation or creates it, whether young people wait for opportunities or build them. This is why the tripartite fund matters. It is a great honor to stand before you today on behalf of the Q Group of companies as we fulfill a pledge made in November to support the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology through a collective contribution of $15 million to the tripartite funds. This contribution is made through 3 companies within the Q Group. QCell is contributing $5 million to the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, which I happen to be the chair of that fund. QuantumNet is contributing $5 million to the student revolving to the National Research and Innovation Fund, whilst Ajib Bank is contributing $5 million to the Student Revolving Loan Scheme. Together, these contributions represent our shared commitment of $15 million to the national development through education, research, science, and innovation. Our pledge of $15 million, equally shared among the 3 funds, is a statement of partnership. It says that the private sector must not stand by the sidelines. It must work hand in hand with government and academia to unlock the full potential of our people. The Student Revolving Loan Scheme gives hope to talented young Gambians who have the ability but not always the means. The Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund strengthens our institutions so that they can compete, adapt, and deliver quality education. And the National Research and Innovation Fund ensures that our brightest minds are not just learning theories, but solving real national problems. At the Q Group, we operate in technology, finance, and other services. Every day, we see firsthand that skills drive growth, research drives solutions, and innovation drives competitiveness. Supporting these funds is therefore not charity, and I repeat, it's not charity, it's a strategic national building. To the students, we believe in you. To the researchers and innovators, your ideas matter. And to our institutions, your strength shapes our future. Let this moment signal a culture where investing in knowledge is seen as investing in prosperity, dignity, and national progress. Q Group is proud to be part of this journey, and we look forward to seeing the ideas, innovations, and leaders that will rise from these investments. As an entrepreneur, a business leader, and a philanthropist, I firmly believe that investing in education is an investment in the future of our nation. When we support students, regardless of their background, we are strengthening the very foundation of our country and empowering the next generation of Gambian leaders, innovators, and professionals. This initiative is deeply rooted in our core belief and slogan, Sunyu Boss, meaning ours. For us, this is more than a slogan. It is a declaration of ownership, responsibility, and patriotism. It reflects our belief that Gambian businesses must play an active role in building the Gambia, supporting homegrown institutions, empowering our people, and contributing directly to national priorities. What we build together, we protect together, and what we invest together, we pass on to the next generation. I am particularly honored to serve as the chairman of the TED, and I view this contribution not only as the fulfillment of a commitment, but as a call to national duty. We hope this gesture will inspire other corporate institutions to join hands with the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology in supporting education, research and innovation for the collective good of our nation. We are proud to be part of this worthy cause and commend the ministry for its continued leadership in ensuring that no student is left behind due to financial constraint. On behalf of the Q Group of companies, I reaffirm our unwavering commitment to supporting initiatives that strengthen our institutions, empower our youths, and continue to contribute to the sustainable development of the Gambia. Together, let us continue to invest in our people, our institutions, and our nation, because this country is ours, and its future is ours to build. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Chairman of the Q Group. That very inspiring statement. The 50 million is not charity, rather a strategic investment in the future of the Gambia. And thank you for Q Group's continued commitment to supporting education, research, and innovation in the Gambia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will now hear brief thanks and appreciation messages from the beneficiary institutions. May I now invite, in turns, the executive directors of the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and the National Research and Innovation Fund to kindly deliver their thank you messages.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Prof. Pierre Gomez, Senior Management Team for MoHERST, Mr. Mohammed Jah, Chair of the Q Group, Dr. Ernest Ruben Obi, Chair of the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, senior government officials, invited guests, members of the media. I greet you all. Honorable Minister, my responsibility here is very simple, to deliver words of gratitude. I'll start by a quote from a musician, a Senegalese musician. I can't remember who it was, but he says, Kula defa lu baax, boko waxut, sulim ay non na la ci bolé. Was that? I can't remember who it was. But Mr. Jah, or the Q group, we won't allow you to have us among your nons, because you've been friends of not just MoHERST or the tripartite funds, but friends of Gambian youths and Gambian students throughout. I did mention to Mr. Jah when we came for the launching of the board that he was our main speaker during the students' week that we organized during my time at the UTGSU. So we've always known him and the Q group for supporting students. So I was in the least surprised when he made that commitment, and today he's handing over the checks. Though the numbers, I didn't expect it to be that big. In Pular, they say, you meet somebody working in his farm and still tell them, Jarama, thank you for working in their own farm. Why do we do that? They do that. Oh, we do that as Gambians generally. We do that because not everybody who's supposed to do their work do it, right? It is our responsibility as Gambian or as Africans to invest in our society's futures, in our countries, in our nation's futures. But not everybody is doing that. So, Mr. Jay, you might see it as a strategic investment, probably an obligation on you to support Gambia or Gambia's future. But we'll still say thank you very much. Because I think as Africans, it's high time we start reflecting and looking within. The world around us is changing a lot. We've all seen what's happening with the USAID, right? And many other traditional development partners. Our world is changing to a very funkung world, if you allow me to use that Mandinka word. Everybody is trying to look inwards. We cannot continue to hope that our education on the continent will be funded by taxpayers in Europe and the West. It's time that we start looking inwards. And this move by Mr. Jah and the Q Group is a signal that is being sent to all Gambians, all Africans. From the Student Development Loan Scheme, and MoHERST will tell you, honestly, we would be working with development partners. Why our belief is what is supposed to build Gambia. We would engage development partners, but we'll be knocking at Gambian doors. Gambian brothers and sisters, it should be our responsibility to build this. And I think Mr. Jah helped us with that responsibility a lot by sending a strong signal. Mr. Jah, we are very grateful. Franz Fanon said, and I'll read out this quote, that every generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. Take a second to reflect on that. We all look back in history and think of the Edward Francis Smalls, right? The people who fought for independence, or the people who fought against slavery, and we see them as our heroes. And sometimes you might even say, I wish I was there. I would join them in those fights. Every generation has its own fight. Ours is huge as theirs. Today, as we are sitting here, probably have some of our young people on boats heading to Europe. Some are lost, their parents don't know where they are. Gambia or Africa cannot continue like that. It will have to take Gambians and Africans to change this fate. And this, one of the biggest tools we can use to overcome this is through education. So it's our mission, our generation, to educate young Gambians, young Africans at home to take over development responsibility that we have. And we cannot do this just by just big wishes, just starting universities that we cannot fund. We have to commit towards funding our institutions from our own. And Mr. Ja and the Q group, I think, have really taken a bold step in showing us the way. So, apart from saying thank you very much to the Q group, I also want to send out this challenge to all of you out there. You'll be coming to knock at your doors. Together, let's build our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nyarama Maube. We now have the Executive Director of the TED Fund.
Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez, Permanent Secretary Ambassador Jaina Bajany, our Board Chair, Mr. Mohamed Jah, Chairperson of the SRLS, Dr. Ernest Obi, DPS Mukhtar Dabo, DPS Ndeifatu Tarawale, Board members, the executive team of QCell, the CIO, my fellow Rice Women and Women in STEM member and role model, Mrs. Aissatou Jah, Ajib Bank MD, Mrs. Aissatou Jawara, Quantum Net GM, Mr. Usman Kebe, Director Dr. Samba Sow, Director Mr. Anthony Mendy, Director Mr. James Gomez, Director Mr. Lamin Cisse, PAS Siaka Seidi Lee, representative from the TED Fund Board, Honorable Safari Mangsaho, VC of USET, Professor Nasmat Surajuddin Bakindi, VC of UEG, Professor Ahmed Adamo, President of the UTGSU, Mr. Mohamed Ngalan, Vice President of Iowa SU, Ms. Jainaba Gomez, Executive Directors of the Tripartite Funds, newly appointed Directors of the TED Fund, MoHERST and TED Fund staff, the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with profound honor and gratitude that I deliver this note of thanks on behalf of the board and the staff of the TED Fund. We're grateful to you, Mr. Jah, and the Q Group for their trust, confidence, and generous donation. These funds could have been invested elsewhere. However, you have decided to make a patient investment in our youth, our communities, our families, and the future of our nation. A great nation is one where men plant trees under whose shade they will not sit. You have shown us that you believe in our hope, our vision for an equitable, educated, and prosperous nation. We celebrate your generosity and your example. You have shown that corporate excellence goes hand in hand with corporate social responsibility. You have also demonstrated that true success involves lifting others. As the saying goes, Bena lohodu tachu, which translates as a single hand cannot clap. This is a call to action. A call to action for public institutions, private institutions, donor organizations, the diaspora, and the general public to join hands to build the Gambia that we envision. To invest in building knowledge and skills of our people for sustainable development. We're grateful to everyone for their support and leadership. This is just the beginning of more work. May it be the beginning of more partnerships. We also would like to deliver a promise to translate this generosity into impact, a promise to give it everything we have, a promise to be accountable and to impact our people and our communities. With that, I would like to say, may God bless you. May God bless our beautiful nation, the Gambia. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much for that appreciation message from the Executive Director of the Tertiary and Higher Education Fund. It seems our EDs are very good with Wolof. We are learning new words of the Wolof from each of them. And I have the pleasure of inviting Professor Salah of the NRIF. Please, Professor. And don't forget to give us a word of quote as well.
Thank you very much, DPS Dabo, Honorable Minister, Mr. Jan, head of the Q Group, and all the beautiful people that my wonderful sister, Dr. George Ndur, has mentioned eloquently. Please allow me to stand on the protocol and just to say I greet you as well. And I don't have much to say today because I'm just grateful. We know that the Gambia spends roughly about 0.7% of its GDP on research and development. Other countries, on average, spend about 2.7. So there's a big gap. So getting Mr. Ja and the Q Group to actually donate 5 million to each of the funds at our embryonic stages, where I don't know, the minister wouldn't mind me saying that sometimes things move very slowly. So having the 5 million at the beginning makes a big difference. We have a lot of work to do in the Gambia. There are a lot of intractable development challenges, and we don't have time to waste. And there's so much that we have to do, and we want to get on with it. But sometimes we have to just pause and to recognize that what Mr. Jah has done is not only good corporate social responsibility, but it shows a deep understanding of the Gambia's development trajectory. And it is great foresight to be able to say that I am going to invest in research and innovation and the tech fund and the students' loan scheme. It shows his acumen in terms of understanding the development dynamics, and for that we thank him, and we thank also the Q Group, and we are quite keen to make sure that research and innovation is actually decolonized. It is used for the good of our people. There are so many problems that we can solve on our own. We don't have to import those solutions. Like he said, those innovations, we don't have to consume them. We can be their creators. And this is a great opportunity. And I'm hoping that moving forward, we will be able to get companies, we will be able to get venture capital to actually work with us on development solutions. If we can build a low-cost housing that is sustainable, we develop a model, we should be able to go to businesses and say, here is a business model, and here is the significant return on investment that you can count on if we can do social good, but at the same time return profit. So moving forward, we're very keen to develop sustainable models, not only to be coming to stretch our hands and ask for things, but to look at ways in which we can make sense for business. We can actually make that transactional relationship more profitable to them, because at the bottom line, these are businesses. So on that note, and understanding the magnitude of what you have done, I say thank you on behalf of the National Research and Innovation Fund and to all the potential beneficiaries who will benefit from this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all the executive directors for those heartfelt expressions of appreciation. Distinguished guests, the significance of today's event is further underscored by policy leadership at the highest level of the sector. It is now my honor to invite the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology to deliver the keynote statement. Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, MC, DPS, the chairman of Q Group, Mr. Mohamed Jah, Aissatou Jawara, MD, Ajib Bank, Usman Kebe, MD, QuantumNet, the chairperson and executive directors of the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, the TED Fund, and the National Research and Innovation Fund, together with their chairpersons here present, the vice chancellors of USET and also UEG here present, senior government officials, senior government, senior officials of the Q group here present, directors, managers, the development partners, other contingent, the student union president, secretary generals, and together with the union members from the different universities here present, MoHERST staff, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm deeply honored to deliver this keynote statement at this significant ceremony, which symbolizes far more than the handover of 3 bank checks. Because today is a great day. Today is a day of celebration. Today is a day. Economist Amartya Sen reminds us human capability is not just a means to economic growth. It is its most essential end. Today's engagement between MoHERST and the Q Group is therefore an investment in capability, dignity, and national resilience. The tripartite funds, the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and the National Research and Innovation Fund represent strategic policy instruments through which government seeks to democratize possible private sector participation. Q Group's contribution today exemplifies what Professor Michael Porter has described as shared value, policies and practices that enhance the competitiveness of a company while simultaneously advancing the economic and social conditions of the communities in which it operates. Through this partnership, corporate leadership is aligned with national development priorities. This is the model we must continue to nurture, one where enterprise success and public good are mutually reinforced. And when I say public good, I take you back to the national anthem, the notion of common good. We do sing the national anthem since primary school days, and so, but it's important to reflect on the keywords. Most of the words that you have there represent who we are as Gambians, our common values. Here, the principle of the public good. There's need really to work on that, not mutually exclusive. Therefore, through this forum, the Republic calls on all actors within the private sector to emulate Q Group led by Mohamed Jah, giving us $15 million. We were not expecting it. You remember, in November we were here. We were inaugurating the new boards. All of a sudden, the sky opened. Manna started coming down from heaven in millions, 15 million, unexpectedly. But we want to use this opportunity today now to talk to our own people, Gambian to Gambian. Mohamed Jah went to school here. He concentrated, and that's the message also for the student leadership. He concentrated, focused. Finished high school here, went outside the Gambia to study. He studied. He could have stayed abroad. like those who went, sometimes paid by taxpayers' money, but they decide to abscond. They decide not to come back. Mohamed Jah came back. He came back and faced the Gambia with its positive, manifestations, but also with its challenges. He faced the Gambia, refused to bow, refused to succumb to whatever others are saying. Do them, affaire civili, demal, bail fini, bul deglu fi, bul iwe sahalis fi, and so. He resisted, refusing to bow. He is a bona fide Gambian. He cannot abandon his house. You cannot abandon what belongs to you and allow strangers to come and take over. No, he stayed, started. Things were not going very fine. If you ask him, he lost money when he started. Things went upside down, yet he refused to bow. Yet he refused to give up. He believed in a better tomorrow. He believed that he must, as a believer in the Most High God, God's time is the best. When the bell rings, nobody can stop the process. And that's what he did. And then later, things started coming up. Then the first company started manifesting and getting positive stuff. He did not stop there, and you all know now. Tatunkara would have helped me, or Mr. Carr, to list down all the other positive things that Mr. Jah has done for this country. And remember, some of his workers, he doesn't know them. Some of them are your own brothers and sisters. Some of them are my own brothers and sisters. He doesn't know that they are connected to you. He doesn't want to know. He is doing it for the Gambia. That's the new definition of greatness. You have the opportunity to enjoy, and you alone and your family, you decide now to share it with everybody. And even those you don't know. You don't want to know where they come from, which religion they come from, which religion they profess, which any group they belong to. They are Gambian. They are human beings. That's the new definition of greatness. For you students, forget about your lessons from your universities. This is the new lesson. This is the new course. This is the new curriculum being put forward by Dr. Jah and the Q group. Learn from this and graduate from this school. This is the new school of development, the new school of patriotism. I call on you to really make good use of that. As minister, I wish to emphasize that MoHERST approaches such partnerships with a strong commitment to accountability, transparency, and resolve. Every DALASIS entrusted to these funds is intended to translate into real outcomes. More students accessing tertiary education, stronger institutions delivering quality teaching, and researchers generating knowledge that informs policy, drives innovation, and strengthens our economy. We are particularly mindful that the Gambia's youthful population presents both an opportunity and a responsibility. If properly educated and empowered, our youth will be the architects of inclusive growth and technological advancement. If neglected, the cost, socially and economically, will be far greater than any investment we make today. Distinguished partners, today's handover should not be seen as an endpoint, but as a foundation. MoHERST stands ready to deepen collaboration with the private sector, financial institutions, and development partners to expand innovative financing models for education, research, science, and technology. Our national ambitions whether in digital transformation, scientific research, or skills development, demands sustained cooperation across actors. Let me conclude by once again expressing, on behalf of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, the government of the Gambia, and the entire Republic, our deepest appreciation to the key group under the dynamic leadership of Mohamed Jah for this timely and visionary contribution. Your leadership sends a powerful message that investing in knowledge is investing in the nation itself. Xam-xam moo yore réew, xam-xam mooy tabax ëllëg, te dëkk du développe bu fekkee ne xale yi amuñ métier. Mohamed Jah génne na xaalisam 15 million teg ko ci table bi pour xale yi Gambia mun a am xam-xam, mun a am métier, mun a dundal seen boppa, dundal seen famille, ak ñoom tamit ñu mun a amal seen réew njëriñ. liggéeyal sa réew ci jaamu yàlla la bokka. Mohamed Jah an ñépp ñoo xam ne ñu ngi liggéey ci biir Q group today wane nañ ne ñoom doomi réew lañ te taxawuñ di xaar pour réew mi ñu government ak réew mi seen boppa ñëw wax leen ne kaay leen dimbaleñ. dañ gis ne réew mi soxla na dimbal, ñoom ñu dugal ci seen loxo. lii mooy tabax réew, ku nekk lu ñëpp bokka na ci ñëpp dugal seen loxo. kon nag tey baax na ñun ñëpp ñu toppandoor lu Mohamed Jah ak Q group luñ def. lii mooy indi développement. ñu ngi ñaax ñëpp ku nekk foo nekk nga xalaat tey Mohamed Jah xala na yoon bi. ñun ñëpp ba si man suma boppa su ñibee ñu toog suñ kër. Mohamed Jah ak Q group ñoom def nañ seen wàlla. man professeur Gomez, yow Amadou, yow Paate, yow Fatoumata, lan ngay defal Gambia? ku nekk war ngaa tontu. waaye Gambia ñu ngi oote, république bi moo oote, war nañu uyu. Mohamed Jah and Q group ñoom ñëpp uyu nañ oote bi. ñun ndax dinañ dégga oote bi? suñ ko déggee naka la ñoo tontu? te baax na tamit ñu tontu, ak tontu bi tamit am na solo. so di gërëm Q group si seen liggéey bu am solo bii nii. that investment is really knowledge, that investing in knowledge is investing in the nation itself. This is the Suñu Boss philosophy, an indigenous approach for sustainable development. You cannot develop your country based on borrowed labors, borrowed systems. It must come from within. The Suñu Boss philosophy. Let's cherish what we have. Let's honor what we have. Let's support what is ours. And today, let's support the Q group and all the systems they have and all the tools and their different outlets, because it comes back to us, because it is Suñu Boss, it is ours. Together, let us continue to build a higher education and research system that is inclusive, future-ready, and firmly anchored in national development. I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that visionary and policy guiding statement, which was delivered almost simultaneously in both English and Wolof for the local audience. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the symbolic highlight of today's ceremony, the formal handover of the bank checks from the Q Group family to the MoHERST tripartite funds. So may I kindly invite representative of the Q Group, beginning with the chairman and the Honorable Minister, and the Quantum Net Group, with the Executive Director of the Student Revolving Loan Scheme. Forward, please. Yes. We have a look.
It's okay. Please come.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, let's go.
Now, can we have the student revolving loan scheme? Can we have the Tertiary Education Conference Executive Director with the himself? The only 5 years. Still coming. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll make you okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, let me just help you drag this.
Yeah.
Now push it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There you are.
Thanks for giving me back my podium. Distinguished guests, thank you very much, QCell, QuantumNet, Ajibank, for giving us $15 million and boosting the morale of